Hey everybody, welcome to another Thrift With Me video. First stop is my favorite Goodwill in the whole Portland area. So usually I try to get here right at open when I come to this location, but I had stuff going on this morning. So we'll see what we get. It may be already picked over. I don't know. Usually I have luck here and I always need to get a cart. So hopeful. I'm in the art aisle, which I always head to first, and just found this seasonal painting. Really like the chunky frame on it. I don't want to have to keep it and hoard it until the holiday, but I think I will. This painting is absolutely adorable. It is $5. Do I need to grab it because it's just so cute? Okay, I'm gonna put it in the cart and we will decide later. This piece of pottery is so weird and wonderful. It's $6.99. Last year, weird pottery sold better than kind of generic run-of-the-mill pottery. So if it was handmade, if it had a lot of visual interest, it did sell. But unfortunately, this guy has a little bit of a chip, so I'm gonna pass. So I got excited for a second thinking that this was Wedgwood, but it is not. It's just painted in that style. So leaving it behind, but just FYI, if it was Wedgwood, this would actually be raised. So these wood carved animals, they have the burnt details. They can be extremely valuable. This one is actually 13, so Goodwill must know that. But I have had a hard time selling mine. I have not sold them for what they're worth, so I won't be picking this guy up. I'm not sure what this is because the one side looks like honeybees, the other side is different, but the carved detail is pretty intricate. This is a very interesting and textural box. Has a wood handle with rope. I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's $4.99. I do love basically any type of box, so I think it's gonna go in the cart. These fabric animals from India can be quite valuable. They used to sell for a ton years ago. This one is, I think, a little bit newer based on the fabric. Usually the ones I sold were definitely vintage and had considerable like wear and fraying. They take a lot longer to sell, so I'm not really grabbing them anymore. And next to the elephant is this strange ceramic person. I mean, the face is very happy. I have no idea if there is a market for this. I have sold so many brass pedestal bowls. This one doesn't have any of the etchings that I usually find on these. Usually they're from like India. This one is definitely a little bit more plain, but it's really solid at only $4, so I'm gonna get it. I sell a lot of crosses, and this one is very unique, $5, ceramic. Love the gold and the turquoise. I haven't seen one like this before. So thankfully, all the trinket aisles are filling up again, so it feels good to be out shopping at the thrift stores. So I thought this was just a cute little painted box, but it actually has coasters inside. And they're very, very cute coasters. So the draft, actually I'm gonna spill them out. Giraffes and elephants, tigers, really cute. I mean, they're considerably banged up. So, I don't know. I think if the set was cheaper than $7, I would get it. But because it's $7 and so worn, probably pass. But it is a very cute set. I'm super low on mugs right now, so any handmade mug I am grabbing. This one, I really like the blue. I'm also really low on glassware. I sold so much during the holiday, and I have this special section in my booth now that's for like stocking the bar. Basically, that's the theme. And I have a set of 4 of these I found today, and I think they're just special enough to pick up. This is an interesting brass trivet, $4. I like the animals and the butterfly right there. This little bowl set is very sweet, $4.99 for 2. They very rarely bundle stuff like this together, so I feel like that's quite the score. Love the adorable little blue flowers. Google Lens says it's Polish. If you guys know much about Polish pottery, you'll have to let me know. This is definitely a yes. I don't pick up a lot of prints, but I really like these horse prints. I think the framing and the matting with the gold, really good. $7 though. That seems a little steep. but I feel like they're worth a lot more, especially sold as a set. Just pulled this brass shoehorn off of a new cart. I'm not a shoehorn user, but my husband is. I feel like it's a British thing. It's $4.99. Someone once told me you can tell a lot about a thrift store based on what they price their Pyrex at and their brass. This bowl is $8. I imagine these ones are probably $13. Isn't that like worn away? Oh my goodness. This may be the most epic soup tureen I have ever come across in my life. It is incredible. 15. I don't think anyone is serving soup like this, but should we be? We should. This is quite the picture. It's vintage, mid-century, Royal Hagar. I've actually never seen that stamp for them before, so it must be pretty old. It's $10. I'm gonna do a Google lens on it. So I just found this beautiful ceramic tray. It's incredible. It would look so good at a dinner party, like serving cheese. The problem is I don't know if the glaze is food safe. And that's something you need to keep in mind when you're picking up ceramic pieces that you plan to use for food. The glaze needs to be food safe. And sometimes you just don't know. So I'm seeing more and more people buying these like iron scroll type frames. And this one is actually really good. It's $3.99, very solid. I'm not sure how I feel about it being separate in the middle, so I'd have to put in 2 pieces. Here's a very moody, kind of a vibe painting, $3, not a patching, although that doesn't really match the signature, so I'm not sure why that's stuck in there. This is something that I would bring to a booth rather than sell online. So here's my cart right now. I'm going to start going through it because I think I'm gonna head out here soon. I feel like I've seen it all. So I'm gonna put these back. The frames seem a little cheap, and because they're only prints and they're $7 a piece, I feel like they're just not worth it, even though I like the subject matter, so I'm gonna pass on these. I'm also gonna put back the paintings. I don't know, something about this just is too blue for me, but the turtle is so cute. I guess I could paint over it and tone down the blue, but you know, who has time for that art project? I don't. And this art piece in the corner up at the top, if you can see, that is totally busted off. So that's a bummer that it has that damage. But the brass, the ceramics, the glassware, these are all a yes, and I'm gonna put the box back. So I just pulled this painting off of the new cart, and I hate the frame. It's terrible, it's so cheap. But the subject matter is very important to me. I actually collect poppy art and needlepoints, anything poppy themed. And this will go into that personal collection of mine. So it was $8. Last grab before I head out is this adorable floral print. I think the wood frame is really nice and the price is right at $4. You guys know my love-hate relationship with brown pottery. It's $4.99. It looks like a basket though, which I think makes it extra special. And I'm thinking ahead for like Easter, like with some eggs in it. It would be adorable. So I was on my way up to the register, and this vintage inspired dress totally stopped me. Love the pink and the blue. I think this brand is sold at Nordstrom Rack. It is $12.99. I think it should be in my size. Okay, do I need to get this? Because it's very vintage looking, but probably won't smell like a vintage dress. Okay, I think I'm just gonna impulse get this. So I'm in the sock aisle, and this adorable cross stitch is just abandoned here. It has so many wrinkles and some staining, and it's falling out of the frame. And I think it's $5. So that's probably why it was put back, but it is very sweet. The colors are really good. Usually I don't pick up a lot of cross stitch. It has to be like other types of embroidery, like needlepoint or crewel. So, but it's very good, but I do not need a project to like shore it up to get it ready to sell. So that last stop was really good, although I didn't get as much as I typically did there because I was there later in the day. But I'm happy with my small haul. I also saw so many people that I know, so that was really fun to catch up with everybody. It's always a good time when you can socialize with people you know at the thrift store. So next stop is Value Village. So I've only been here 2 seconds and right out of the gate found this beautiful, I believe like a holy water holder maybe? $14.99, so a bit steep, but this is actually ceramic, which is incredible. It looks like fabric. And then this mask, which is $7.99, and then this peg rack, which you guys know, if you've been following for a while, they sell really well. So this is my haul so far. Clearly someone's entire collection of camels has come through. Look at all of them. There are so many. This guy is absolutely bananas. How fun. $4.99, handmade, strange little dude. I love quirky stuff like this, so I think I'm just gonna have to get it. So I'm literally dying. Inside of this strange vase is this project assessment, and this person, Maggie, rated herself 3, which is the top score on everything. And when you read what she said, what is the best aspect of your piece? She said the green moldy teeth. And if she could change one thing, she would have put green boogers on this, you guys. But her teacher thought that was a 10 out of 10 response. So I'll let you be the judge. Another interesting mask here. This one is, let's see, $10.99. I need to look it up. I don't know much about woven masks like this. Well, here I go again, picking up a piece of pottery that I probably shouldn't. I just feel like it's so cool and wonky. It's $5.99. I love the stamps on the bottom. I think I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna pass. This is very pretty. And I think it might actually be intact. Usually it's not. They're usually really busted. Oh no, right there, busted up. Yes, every time I find anything like this, it's busted. Its mate is down here, which this one is really pretty and busted, man. Every time, one day I will find one that is not damaged. I can't believe I'm finding another menorah. This is the second one, kind of similar style, more minimalist. $10.99. I like the mix of the silver and brass. Okay, I think I'm going to put this in the cart. This is a very interesting tray with animals. So fish, and it looks like sheep maybe? I'm not sure about the red. I don't pick up a lot of red pieces, and it's also 10 bucks. So more masks. I don't know if a collection came through of these as well. This one I would have loved when I was younger. I would have absolutely grabbed this. I was obsessed with these. Love this basket. Very cool. It's $10. Prices seem a little high today. Definitely seem a little high, but I really like the way it's constructed. And ooh, behind it, super cute, probably made in Italy. $4.99, and it hangs on a wall. I thought it was like a little trivet, but no. Now this ceramic piece is truly special. I wonder if it was made by that same person that made that vase with the green teeth. These are adorable. They're so colorful and fun. It's not the style that I would pick up, but I have a reselling friend who likes colorful, fun stuff, so I'm gonna see if she wants them. This is a very beautiful pottery piece. It has a little dimple in it for your thumb. It's very well made, $5.99. Look at the detail on the bottom. It's very orangey. It's also $400, but it is solid and cedar lined. It's incredible, but it'll be interesting to see who buys it for $400. Went through the art books and found 3 good ones. These 2 are only $1.99 each. This one is amazing. It is huge and it is not priced, so I gotta ask them at the register. So these are the things that I ended up with. This is going to my reselling friend, and the rest of the pieces will be going probably to my booth, except for this one because it was so expensive. Also, I took the tag off and it said Ireland, so it's a very special piece. So right down the road from Value Village, where we just were, is my booth at Curiosities. So I share this with my mom. She is largely in charge of stocking a lot of the stuff because she is a prolific sourcer compared to me, but she's retired. So this is her thing that she is doing, and I wanted to check in on how it's looking. We usually do like a lot of the styling and stuff together and the resetting together, so it's fun. It's a fun thing to do, but I haven't showed you guys the booth here in a long time, so I thought I would give you a little tour. So we did a big reset after the holiday when we took out all the Christmas But there's brass, needle points, original art, you know, all the good stuff. We have one clothing rack that we took out for a while, brought it back in. Clothing just sells and sells in this mall because there's a lot of young shoppers, and so they go straight for the clothes. And then bags. So my mom is always finding just fun, unique bags, and she just sells so many of them. The weirder and more unique, the better she finds. So it's kind of one of those things that just helps pay for the rent. But at some point, we're going to replace these green shelves, not because we don't like the color, but because they just are old and kind of like warped. So it's hard to put stuff on them. So we're looking for new fixtures in this space, and decided to put this thing in the center. Swapped out the rug from when we were first in our space. So yeah, a lot always changes. You gotta keep switching it up when you have a booth space. Walking into the final Goodwill of the day. I was excited about this little cutie pie, but it's $7.99 for an incense burner. So that's a pass. An adorable set of carved wood elephants. They're all priced separately, so together they're kind of expensive. Raise your hand if you were obsessed with cork DIY projects like me. I think I still have a bag of corks in my attic for cork projects. So I'm thinking about my next dinner party, and these are adorable. But can you even eat off something like this? Like, I imagine the fork is gonna take all the paint off. These plates are absolutely stunning. A very unique look. The blue again today. Something about this blue, not my favorite, but for a dinner party, could be really cool. And there's 2 sets, so there'd be 8. Oh my gosh, if I came home with these, I think my husband would be like, okay, you gotta start entertaining a lot more than like once every 7 years. Something I don't need are these, but I feel like my son would go crazy for them. I've been drawn more and more to crystal pieces like this. I feel like for matches, it's just always amazing. This one, the comps are all over the place, so I'm not gonna get it, but it's $6.99. So walking out of that stop empty-handed, but the good news is the Goodwills are catching up and filling all the shelves again. So that feels so good. Even though I didn't find anything, I'm relieved to know that there is inventory now rolling into the stores. So it's a few days later in my studio space, and yes, my studio space is looking like this right now. I'm only a few weeks into the new year, and I'm already accumulating just mess and chaos everywhere, which seems to be every year. I have not cracked the nut on how to stay organized as a reseller, but I have determined it might not be possible because of so much I'm bringing in and out. Everything's always in flux. But I thought I would show you guys what sold in my Etsy shop this past week. I haven't done a what sold portion of a video in ages. And I thought because I have to take all this stuff out to pack it up, I might as well talk about how much I sold each item for. So here's what sold in my Etsy shop this past week. And some of the pieces, like these beautiful metallic paintings, you guys did not see because I did not haul them. Same with this pear painting and the solid brass abacus I got from a reselling friend in her booth. I actually went to an antique mall. They had their big sale, and I intended to film, but totally did not do it. I was a bad content creator. So I just decided to list the items that I got. But this brass set of bells sold for $175 to one of my regular buyers who collects them. I usually accumulate a bunch for her and then offer them up. The cute, adorable kissing kakeshis were $48. The 2 metallic paintings, I mean, look at this bird. And then behind here, look at the beautiful butterflies. So each one of these were listed for $78. The pear painting, I think, was $48. The needlepoint pillow sold for $68. And then the needlepoint in the back sold for $58. The brass abacus sold for $89, and then the tiny abacus sold for $34. The Florentine tray was $38. This adorable set of kakeshis, the taller one was $48, and the shorter one was $45. The wall packs of ducks, they sold for $48. And I think that's everything to talk about the box. The box was $38. I think that's it. I think that's all the things. So a lot of these items I did pay up for. If you guys remember, I paid up for the 2 needle points. I definitely paid up for these 2 paintings. And then also the abacus as well. Certain items you just do, knowing that you can get pretty decent margin because they're worth more than what they were priced at in the antique malls. That's what I love about antique malls. But this was a very great week of sales, and so many of the things went to regular buyers, which I always appreciate so much, that people come back and continue to support my shop. So thank you guys so much. Okay, so that is all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for shopping with me, and I can't wait to see you in my next thrifting and decorating video. Take care.